Hey guys, it's Carson Miller Tech here, back with another video, and basically I just had to play Frogger to get to where I am right now. What I'm doing is I'm gonna go on a hike today to the top of a mountain called North Mountain in Phoenix, Arizona. And basically I'm doing it just because I want an excuse to fly my new Mavic Mini and to give you guys a montage of some of the clips that I get out of it. Because I really like making montages, but I just never really get the opportunity to do so in my usual videos. So basically I'm gonna be taking you along with me to the top of the tallest mountain here, where I'm located right now, and we'll see how the drone shots turn out. I just love seeing all this cacti out here. Living in Indiana, I never really see that other than the little tiny grow your own cactus that you see in like Walgreens or CVS. So just making my way off trail just for a second, just to talk some tech. I did get the new AirPods Pros for Christmas, which is pretty fantastic. I've been really liking them so far, and I never really have had any noise canceling headphones or earphones really, just because they're usually so expensive, and not saying these are cheap, but they're not a $600 pair of Bose headphones. So considering I've never had any noise canceling earphones or anything like that, they've been pretty phenomenal. I do really like the transparency mode, because when I have them on, like for situations right now, I can still hear the ambient outside noise, but not have to worry about like not hearing somebody coming up behind me or something like that. So it's pretty nice to have that. I never really had any problems in the past with my regular AirPods fitting incorrectly or anything like that. So the AirPods Pros ear tips that go into your ears is a little odd. It's not terrible, but it is kind of annoying because you have to clean your AirPods like 5 times more frequently than other typical AirPods, just because they get so dirty so much quicker. So that is, like, I would say probably the one downside that you have with these, is because they go so much further into your ear. It has to, because the noise canceling, but there's surely a lot of people out hiking right now. Wow. And a lot of people going off path as well, so I don't feel so bad about doing it myself. So where I'm going is the mountain that is back there, where you can see the telephone towers and stuff like that. That's where I'm going, and that's where everybody else is going. It is a little odd that the path that they have is cemented, but it's whatever. It makes it a little bit nicer to climb up than if it was just regular trail, but makes it feel less genuine than actual hiking. Okay, so let's make this a little bit more interesting. I'm gonna put up the drone now, just because I want to do this probably sooner rather than later, before I get to the top, because eventually I'm going to get quite tired and just want to go all the way to the top and I won't have to worry about that. So let's get to flying this now.
The home point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
So I gotta say, flying this thing around is pretty fun, and I honestly forget that it is a Mavic Mini at times, just because it performs so similarly to the Mavic Pro. It's pretty fantastic, and it does quite blow me away each time that I fly it, just because of that. The only time that I really notice that it is a cheaper Mavic Mini drone is when I'm looking at the footage later. The videos aren't as great, obviously, just due to the fact that it is a 2.7K camera rather than 4K, but the photos are phenomenal, which I talk about in my review. If you take a look here, take a photo now, like, just look at the quality of that. It does only shoot in JPEG, it doesn't shoot in DNG or RAW, sadly enough, but it is still fantastic photos that come out of this. So quick shots are pretty fun. My favorite one is Helix, just due to the fact that it's so unique, and you can do it yourself, but it does it a whole lot better when it's automated like this does. So I'll just do a smaller, just average 80. So click on me, start, and it'll do it all itself, which is pretty cool. The only downside with this is that it does do this quite slow. Like with other DJI drones, you can adjust the speed at which it goes around and does these shots, but with this one, sadly, you can't adjust it, at least at the time. I feel like that's something that DJI could easily fix with just a simple app update, but at the current state, you cannot do that. So one thing to keep in mind while doing quick shots like this is the fact that it only has those downward facing sensors, so it's not gonna go and stop itself if it accidentally goes and gets near to something when it's backing up. So I'd watch out for that. The transmission quality is pretty decent. It is definitely not as high quality as a Mavic Pro would be, just due to the fact that it is through Wi-Fi, it's not through their special protocol. So it being lower resolution is a little bit of a downside, but it's not the biggest issue. Some older people are looking at my drone right now and they're fantasized by the fact that there's something flying. They were pointing at it. Sports mode on the Mavic Mini is pretty phenomenal. Like, it can get up quite fast for being such a small drone. This is in sports mode currently, as you can see on the screen. It's crazy how fast it can be. In comparison to if you just go to P mode, here's just the speed difference really quickly. I might make a video about this in the future. Tops out at about 17.5, 18 miles an hour. And then when you change to that sports mode, it's a completely different ball game. You can go a solid 28 miles an hour. I was up to 28 just the other day. That was with wind, but quite crazy how fast it can go. It's getting pretty fast right now, but I don't want to go too far so I don't lose signal. Now that I've flown around just a little bit and you've seen me fly this around, I'm gonna wait until I get closer to the top of the mountain to show you more clips and check back in with you. So I'll check back in with you once I get closer to the top of the mountain. See you there. Also, on a side note, I love this. Yay, I made it. I've been up here for a little bit, but I wanted to take a little bit of a break because I was taking some cool pictures and just chilling up here and cooling down a little bit because I got up here a lot faster than I got up here yesterday. It's an amazing view up here. Like, holy cow. Look at this. Like, that is just amazing. I have a little bit further to go. I'm gonna go up there and then I'm gonna fly my drone, but wow.
I know you need it too, because we have been working hard right from the very start. Who knew we'd get this far? But now it's time for us to stay out until it's late. We've come a long, long way, so we deserve it, mate. Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Obstacles that we faced did ever slow us down. We knew we'd get here, went the extra mile in every race. We are duty bound. We push it right on through.
Well, that came out of nowhere and was pretty close. Luckily, I was able to land. Jeez, kind of scared for a little bit because a helicopter went and flew by. So I didn't end up realizing that it was there until literally it was a couple 100 feet away, maybe 100 yards, I don't know, but it was awfully close, and that was a little scary. So I didn't get too much drone shots after that, but you know, I got a decent amount. So before anybody gets the chance to go and be like, are you flying in airspace that you're not supposed to be flying in? Well, I was flying in Class B airspace, but the floor of where I was flying started at 5,000 feet. So taking a look at numerous different apps, it was safe to fly where I was flying, and I was not flying above that height because even still, the mountain was like 2,400 feet or something like that. So there was like 2,500 feet of clearance, so I was not worried about that at all. It just happened that a helicopter came flying around and I didn't realize it. There was a helipad nearby, which I'm assuming that is where the flight came from, but I'm not super sure. It could have been like, you know, police trying to find somebody. I honestly don't know. But yeah, with that being said, I just wanted to mention that to clear up anybody's suspicion. So I'm heading on back now, and it is quite dark. The sun set quite a bit faster than I was expecting, but I did end up at the top of the mountain until the sunset, and oh my gosh, it was gorgeous. As I already mentioned, it was amazing. I got some pretty decent shots, I believe. I was, like I said, pretty sketched out from that helicopter being so close. So I guess if there's one thing that you can get out of this video, that has to be watch out, especially if you're at a higher altitude like that. At least I wasn't flying far away. Luckily, I was flying close. And to be clear, where I was flying is a flying space. Like, you're allowed to fly there. There's no fly zones or anything like that. So it was definitely not odd that the helicopter was there, but that it was so close to the mountain. It was awfully close. It was just like circling around, and it was weird. Caught it on video, so yeah. Just let that be a lesson, watch out. And also, when flying up that high like that, I was not ever going and flying further than it would be 400 feet to the side of the mountain. So keep that in mind if you're somewhere high like that and you fly over the edge and it ends up being more than 400 feet above ground level, then you are technically breaking FAA regulations. So in my case, I was making sure that I was staying at least 400 feet from the ground and flying parallel to the mountain in that case. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this, I think, short little video. I hope it ended up being short. Wasn't intentional to be long if it did end up being that. But yeah, with that being said, that is it for this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Click the thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see my last video, that should be up there. And some random video should be down there. With that being said, that is it for this video. See you in the next one. Peace.